Okay, here is our Unit 4.1 Day 1 notes. Polynomial vocabulary. So this unit is all about adding, today we're learning all about adding and subtracting polynomials. But the first thing we need to learn is what is a term. So here is a term. So the term consists of a coefficient, and make sure you're filling this in on your notes. And then we have the variable or the base, and then we have the exponent of 2, okay, the superscript, the exponent of 2. So that's the part of our terms. Now when we're looking at a polynomial, like say this, okay, or here is a polynomial 2t minus 5y. Notice they're all separated by a plus sign, minus, or equal. Okay, so polynomials are separated by, the terms are separated by plus, minus, and equal. So here we have an expression. So notice this has one term. So the word for it is monomial. Here we have two terms. One term, two terms, okay, separated by a minus. So this has two terms. So it's called a binomial. Bi means two. And then we'll be working a lot with these this spring. Notice this has three terms. Okay, x squared is a term, plus 3x, that's a term, minus 4, that's a term. So this is called a trinomial. Tri means three. Okay, we can also classify polynomials according to their degree. So the greatest exponent, okay, so the greatest exponent determines the degree of the polynomial. For example, the biggest exponent here is 2. So this actually has an exponent of 1. This has an exponent of 1. The biggest exponent is right here, which is 2. So the degree will be 2. Alright, so looking at this one, notice we have the biggest, this degree is 1, or exponent. This exponent is 2. This exponent is 4, and there's actually an exponent of 1 there. So the biggest exponent is going to be 4. So 4 will be the degree for that polynomial. Okay, so real quick, you may want to pause the video and write this down. Combine like terms, and then write this down. Simplify means combine like terms. So pause the video real quick and write that down on your sheet. Alright, so simplify, it says simplify the following expression. So when we see the word simplify, we want to reduce it into the lowest number of terms that we can. We want to simplify it. So it's a lot easier if I have 4m plus 2m, notice both of these terms have an m, okay? And then 4m plus 2m minus t. So I can combine the 4m and the 2m. So 4 plus 2, that gives me 6. So I put 4m plus 2m, that'll be 6m, and then there's nothing to combine with the minus t, so I'll just put minus t. So notice that we went from 3 terms down to just 2. And so this is our simplified expression. And then these two expressions are equivalent. So this is a word you're going to need to know, equivalent. Okay. Alright, so let's do one more. So we want to simplify or combine these like terms. So notice I have 5x squared, and I have a minus 7x squared, and then I have 2x all by itself. So I want to put my x squareds together. I want to combine those. So this is going to be, so to do that, I will go 5 minus 7, which gives us negative 2. So this will be negative 2x squared. There's nothing to combine with the 2x, so it'll just be plus 2x. Alright, so that's the basics for simplifying polynomials. Alright. So now is what we want to do, something a little more challenging, a little more fun actually, okay, is we're going to be adding polynomials and then subtracting polynomials. So what I want you to do first is to go ahead and pause the video, and then everything I have written here, try to write it just like this, okay? Leave yourself plenty of room here. Make sure you write this. Okay, so pause the video and write this down on your notes. Try to get it to the same place I have it on your sheet of paper, and then write these bullet points down. So pause the video and write all that down. Alright, here we go. So now we're going to talk about adding polynomials. So our first step here is we want to put 1 in front of the parentheses. So my first step is to put a 1 here, and I'm going to put a 1 here. Our next step, we want to distribute the 1. So I'm going to go 1 times 7. That's going to give me 7a. Then I'm going to go 1 times 1. That'll give me plus 1. And then I'm going to go 1 times a minus 2a. So that'll be minus 2a squared. And now I'm going to go 1, so we're distributing these 1s. So 1 times 8, that'll be plus 8. And then 1 times 6a, that'll be plus 6a. Okay, so now our next step, so we distributed the 1, now we want to combine the like terms. So hopefully you have your marker or highlighter. So to combine the like terms, we're going to put 1 line under the a's, 2 lines under the a squares, okay? So here we have another a. And then I like to circle the constants. So we circle this constant and we circle this constant. So now we want to put the a's together, okay? We want to put the a's together. So here we have 7a plus 6a. So in your Desmos, you would go 7 plus 6 equals 13. So 7a plus 6a, that's going to give me 13a. There's nothing to combine the minus 2a squared with, okay? So we're just going to go minus 2a squared. And then I put together my constants. So plus 1 and plus 8, that will be a plus 9. So now we combine the like terms, so now we want to put them in order by the exponent. So notice the a squared, this middle term, has my biggest exponent. So I'm going to rewrite this like this. Negative 2a squared plus 13a, and then plus 9. Okay. And so now notice this sentence here. The original polynomial, which is this up here, okay, this is our original polynomial. After we add the simplified polynomial, which is right here, are equivalent. So these are equivalent expressions. So this expression right here is equivalent to all of this up here. All right. So again, this expression is equivalent to this expression. Alright, so now we want to subtract. So now we want to subtract. Notice here we only have one variable, which is a. Here we have 2, 4, 6 different variables. Alright, but notice A and B are together, P and G are together, and then X and Y are together. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to follow this process right here, and then we'll talk more about this when we combine. So we don't want to let the the different having multiple variables mess us up or scare us. Alright, so we want to put the 1 in front of the parentheses. So I'll put my 1 here, put my 1 here. And now we're going to distribute the 1 and the negative 1. So notice this is a negative 1. Alright, so we distribute the 1. So I go 1 times 2ab. So that's just going to be 2ab. And write kind of small because it's going to get long. And then we have 1 times a negative 4 pg, so that'll be minus 4 pg. And then we have a 1 times a 12xy, so that's going to be plus 12xy. And so now we have a negative 1. So notice I dropped the parentheses, and so now we're going to distribute the negative 1. So negative 1 times 5ab, that'll be minus 5ab. And then we have a negative 1 times a negative 8. So again, negative 1 times negative 8, that's going to be plus 8 pg. And then we have the negative 1 times this. So negative 1 times 10xy, negative 1 times 10, that'll just be minus 10xy. Just like that. Now remember, if you can't multiply these in your head, multiply it in decimals. So for this first one, you would go negative 1 times 5, which is negative 5. Negative 1 times negative 8, that'll give you 8. And then negative 1 times 10. Negative 1 times 10, that'll give you negative 10. So that's how we got the numbers. Okay, so next, so we distributed the 1 and the negative 1. So now we want to combine the like terms. So notice I have 2ab. So I'm going to combine that with negative 5ab. Okay? So 2ab combined with a negative 5ab. So on my decimals, I would type in 2 minus 5. That gives me negative 3. So this is going to be a negative 3ab, and write kind of small. And then next, we want to put together our PGs. So we have a negative 4 PG, and we're going to combine that with the 8 PG. So that's going to be negative 4 plus 8. That gives us 4. So that'll be plus 4 PG. Alright. And then next, we're going to go plus 12. So let me use this. Plus 12xy minus 10xy. Okay, so that'll be 12 minus 10. That'll give us 2. So 12 minus 10 is 2, so that'll be plus 2xy. And then next it says put it in order by the letter or alphabetical order. So notice these are in alphabetical order, so now we're done. Now one thing you need to write, so the original, so make sure you write this, the original polynomial so this whole thing up here is equivalent, and make sure you put equivalent in all caps, equivalent to the, and this is our simplified polynomial. Okay, and that is it.